Hey guys, my name is Roddy and I'm the community pastor at Life.Church South OKC. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video today. Whether you're leading an in-person or online neighbor group, I'm so glad you're stepping into the call to lead, and I'm excited to help you get your neighbor group started. Neighbor groups bring people together to care for others within their community. During this video, we're going to answer some common neighbor group questions, talk about valuable resources for neighbor groups, and give practical advice for leading a neighbor group. Let's get started. When it comes to figuring out how your neighbor group will serve your community, ask yourself, what about your community breaks your heart or gets you fired up? This could be a common cause, like homelessness and food insecurity, education, addiction recovery, immigration and refugees, prison ministry, or foster care and adoption. It could also be a cause totally unique to you or your community. No matter what cause God has placed on your heart, being able to answer this question will point you in the right direction. Another way you can figure out how your neighbor group will serve your community is by filling out the neighbor group vision and plan. The questions in this resource will help you determine your vision for your neighbor group, what it looks like to serve together, grow together, and have fun together, and so much more. As you're thinking through the ins and outs of what it looks like to serve your community, don't hesitate to reach out to your community pastor or coach with the questions you're thinking over or for info about the local partners at your campus. They'll be able to point you toward serving opportunities at nearby organizations and attenders who may already be involved with the same cause God is calling you to support. One of the questions most life group and neighbor group leaders ask is, how do I get people to come to my group? First, it's important to know that it could take some time to grow your neighbor group. But there are lots of ways you can recruit people as your group is getting started. Think about the people you're regularly around. Do you have friends who might be interested in joining? What attenders do you see at your campus each weekend? Do you know people who are interested in the same cause God's calling you to support? Thinking through those questions is an excellent place to start. Spending time in the Get Connected area at your campus between services can give you the chance to meet people who are looking for a small group. You'll also want to update your group's profile on the Life Group search tool. Adding a photo and providing information on how your group serves in the community will help spark interest. You can also share the link to your group's profile with others so they can learn more and sign up. When someone reaches out through the search tool, you'll get an email with their contact info. Make sure that you reach out in a timely manner and communicate all of the info they need to try out your neighbor group for the first time. No matter how long it takes your group to grow, just remember that God has placed a passion in your heart for serving. Trust that He will bring the right people at the right time. Next, let's talk about what it looks like to set expectations for your neighbor group. Nailing down the answers to practical questions like, where will we serve? How often will we meet? And will kids be invited? Will provide your group with the clarity it needs to move forward and grow together. As a leader, it will be your responsibility to make these choices and communicate them to your group. Making these choices once doesn't mean things can't ever change. As your group grows and people enter into different seasons of life, it might become necessary to change things about your group, depending on what works best for everyone. That's totally okay. But it will still ultimately be your responsibility to make the call on these decisions and keep everybody in the loop. Selecting a co-leader early on can be a big help here. You can work with this person to establish expectations and communicate them to your group. As you're getting started, it's important to feel equipped to lead the people in your neighbor group. So let's talk about a few ways you can grow as a leader. First, your coach and community pastor are always here for you and ready to answer any questions that you have. They will walk alongside you as your group is getting off the ground, and as they get to know you better and see your leadership in action, they will be able to point you toward new ways you can grow. Second, The Life Group Leader Development training video will point you to our practical resources you can use to grow as a neighbor group leader. And finally, check out the GROESCHEL Leadership Podcast. You'll learn new mindsets, practices, and tips you can use to grow as a healthy, God-honoring leader. Most life groups use some type of content, like a Bible study or a devotional, to guide their time together. Depending on how your neighbor group is set up and how often you serve in your community, you may or may not need content for your group. If you would like content for the times your group meets while not serving, here are some options for you to check out. First is the You've Heard It Said podcast. Each episode features stories of people partnering with God and seeing Him at work. Season 9 is all about loving our neighbors and what it looks like to get involved with 6 key causes. It would be a great resource for your neighbor group when you're starting out. Your group can also use a Talk It Over guide. This is a conversation guide that can help your group discuss the weekend's message. It comes with key scriptures, discussion questions, and next steps. If there's a specific theme, topic, or resource that your neighbor group wants to explore, talk to your coach. They can point you toward additional content you can use. Online neighbor groups come in all shapes and sizes. But here are some tips for you to consider as you're thinking about what your group would look like. First, consider how you'll connect with your group. There are so many ways you can connect with people digitally. You can meet over a video call or keep in contact by texting or messaging. If everyone in your online neighbor group lives in the same area, think through what it might look like to serve together in person. If everyone in your group lives in different places, you can serve in your community separately. Come prepared to use your online meetups to discuss your serving experiences. This is a lot of information, and you probably have a lot of questions. If so, connect with your coach and start finding answers together. I'm so excited you're taking the time to invest in your growth as a leader. The whole community team is praying for you, and we can't wait to see how God impacts your city through your neighbor group. Making a difference doesn't have to be complicated. It can start in your neighborhood. If you'd like to find opportunities to serve your community alongside your Life.Church family, click here.